Okay, we'll call the Board of Adjustment meeting to order. Sorry for the delay. We'll get started here. First thing we'll do is have the secretary read the notice of the public hearing. My name is Dennis Quinn, and this is Kathy Schmidt.
Notice of public hearing, State of Wisconsin, Burnett County, Monday, January 25th, 2021, at 6 p.m. at the Burnett County Government Center in room 165, Town of Neenan, Siren, Wisconsin, regarding the following. Variance number 2007, Stapula. Public notice is hereby given to all persons in the town of La Follette, Burnett County, Wisconsin, that Gerald and Kim Stapula have made application relative to a proposal to vary the terms of the Burnett County Land Use and Shoreline Protection Code of Ordinances as follows. To leave a garage in place that was constructed without a land use permit, which does not meet the required setback of 66 feet from the road right-of-way of Highway 70. The garage was constructed at 16 feet from the road right-of-way, located at 4181 State Road 70 in the A2 zoning district in Government Lot 12, Section 2, Town 38, Range 15. Variance number 2008, Marquardt. Public notice is given to all persons in the town of Sand Lake, Burnett County, Wisconsin, that Carolyn Marquardt has made application relative to a proposal to vary the terms of the Burnett County Land Use and Shoreline Protection Code of Ordinances as follows. To construct a dwelling and a detached garage at a setback of 30 feet from the road right-of-way of State Road 70, located in the RR1 zoning district, Lot 2, CSM, Volume 23, page 313, and Government Lot 3 and 5, Section 32, 39, 15. Variance 2009, Prokop. Public notice is hereby given to all persons in the town of Scott, Burnett County, Wisconsin, that Mark Prokop has made application relative to a proposal to vary the terms of the Burnett County Land Use and Shoreline Protection Code of Ordinances as follows. To construct a garage at a setback of 20 feet to a wetland located at 1703 Gold Star Road in the RR2 zoning district, Lot 1, CSM, Volume 20, page 204, in Government Lot 2, Section 11, Town 40, Range 14. Variance 2010, Cashman. Public notice is hereby given to all persons in the town of Jackson, Burnett County, Wisconsin, that Phil and Genevieve Cashman have made application relative to a proposal to vary the terms of the Burnett County Land Use and Shoreline Protection Code of Ordinances as follows. To construct a dwelling at a setback of 21 feet from the road right-of-way of Ham Lake Road and a setback of 62 feet from the ordinary high water mark of Ham Lake located in the RR1 zoning district, lots 11 and 12, of an unrecorded plat filed as map D588 in Government Lot 2, Section 7, 4015.
Okay.
You don't have to.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then approval of the agenda order, we'll take them as read in the order that they read. You okay with that, Kathy?
Yes.
Good. And then the meeting procedures here is that all public comments, we're going to put a 3-minute time limit on that and only one person to speak at a time. We'd like you to state your name and address and reasons for comments. And then the board, we're going to ask for public comments up front for any non-related variance items that somebody may have at this hearing. So, and then we'll go in and then we'll take each variance in its order. And then there, the public will also have its chance to make comments on the specific ordinances for variances for tonight. And then the board shall ask that one person from the announced variance be designated by the applicant to present their case before the board. After initial presentation and questions from the board shall close the public part of the meeting and deliberate amongst ourselves, asking any questions to clarify items in question. And then a vote will be taken before moving on to the next variance or item on agenda, so you'll know your decision tonight. Important is that the applicant, local officials, and DNR shall receive within 30 days a letter summarizing the hearing, also including information on applicant's rights to appeal the decision in circuit court within 30 days. Any person aggrieved by this decision, or any taxpayer, any officer, department, board of review, or bureau of the county may within 30 days after filing of this decision in the office of the Board of Adjustment commence in action in circuit court seeking the remedy available by certiorari. So with that, we'll ask if there's any public comments for anything different than the variances for tonight.
Is on the agenda. There is one wireless caller on the comment line that we don't have spotted for a specific variance, that we're going to unmute and ask if they are on for a specific variance so we can put them in line.
Okay.
So if you can unmute them. Okay, there's wireless caller with a phone number, 612-708-6436 on the line. Are you online specifically to public comment on a specific variance tonight?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. My name is Jeff Holtmans. Yeah, I'm on the call just in case there's anything needed on the 20-08 Marquette, one where the will be the buyer for the property. So we're the ones that have the plan put together with Wagner Surveying on that.
Okay, so we'll hold your comments until we do that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any others? No? Okay, so we'll close the public comments for that portion of the meeting, and then we'll start with variance number 1. It'd be variance 20-07 stipula. Do we have their member that's going to speak?
Yes. Adam and Mark. So there's Mark Krause online and Adam Benson.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
And this is Mark Krause. I'm here too.
Okay. So if you can say your name before you speak, just so we know who's speaking at each time as we go back and forth. And then if one of you want to start with the summary of what this is about.
Mark, do you want to do the summary and I'll argue?
Well, this is, I guess I figured Adam would do this. This is Mark Krause from Wagner Surveying.
Mm-hmm.
And we prepared the map, and you have the map in front of you that you can see what was, where the dimensions are, et cetera. And then Adam has the particulars of what Stipulos might have been led to believe, and I know they did not pull a permit on this, but our measurements are as shown. And as you can see, the house and deck are basically the same dimensions from the right-of-way as what the garage was built. And I know they had a permit on the house, I believe, and just not on the garage, but it was built up the same distance back. And I believe he had talked to the building inspector, but that is what Mr. Stipulo had, and I think Adam can embellish that a little bit more. But if there's other questions, you can ask me on any specifics, but that's about all I have to say on this one at this time.
Okay,
thank you, Mark. Adam, you had comments?
Yes, thank you. This is Adam Benson, Benson Law Office in Siren. I represent the Stipulos. That's correct, they did not pull a permit for this. They said they spoke with John Madsen, the building inspector, and they were led to believe that because there was no sewer and water hookup, that they did not need to pull a permit for this project. That notwithstanding, after they were told they did apply for a permit, and that permit was denied. That's why we're here tonight. I think if you take a look at the map that Mark submitted, Obviously, the garage can't be placed on the septic tank or in the drain field. There's wetlands back there. Anything farther out is, quite frankly, impractical. And again, the house was approved just 3.5 years ago. I'm looking at the inspection report. It's dated July 12, 2017, signed by John Mattson, occupancy granted. So this garage, quite frankly, is not any different than the location of the house. It seems that the state grabs more right away every time they do something, but realistically, Highway 70 is probably never going to get to that garage. But in the end, my clients doing what they believe they could do, place that garage there. And again, just to stress, there's a septic tank and drain field behind the garage. There's wetlands on that parcel, and the garage is no closer than the house to the highway. So if the house isn't a problem, certainly the garage is not a problem. Thank you.
Any other comments on this one? Any questions from you? Do we have anything from the township or anybody? DOT, anybody?
This is Jason speaking. We have no correspondence from the township or from DOT.
And no other questions?
I have no questions.
Adam and Mark here, that's all you got?
The only thing else I could bring up is the original right-of-way was 50 feet wide or 100 feet total, and that's when the deed was based on. And as this deed, you can see, is only 200 feet deep. And the state did acquire another 25 feet in the past, and so they went from a 50-foot wide right-of-way on one side to 75 feet on the one side, as you can see the dotted line out there. So that further infringed or made this property narrower than it was originally intended. So that's just another comment on it. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. Well, then, nobody else has anything else, then we'll close that portion of the meeting and we will deliberate amongst ourselves here. You want to start? You want me to start?
Well, it seems to me that since it's no further out than the house, it seems like kind of a strange request to ask them to move it.
No.
And because the right-of-way has changed over the years too, that has altered the numbers, so it makes it look worse than it is.
So of course, we have to look at this as if the building isn't there and that is otherwise.
Right.
I think that one of the things that we've taken into consideration on these garages is that when they back out, that they're not backing out into the road right away, that you can park in front of the garage without doing that. And they're at an angle enough there that there's plenty of room in front of that garage to back out and still be on your own property. You're not backing out into the road right away. So we have allowed that in the past. Got the drain field directly behind the septic tank and stuff in the way, it's to come straight back anyway. And then as you go back the other way, farther back, then the property does start to drop off, and then there's a wetland back there too. So the three criteria: unique property limitations. There is a little bit of unique property because of the drain field location, septic tank, wetlands behind, property dropping off, so big fill. No harm to public interest. I don't think we are. I don't think we're affecting. It is a main thoroughfare through the county that 50, 100 years down the road may be developed, especially with the casino there and everything else. But they're off the road right away and stuff. think we're okay there, and we have other, like the houses in the same location. Setback. Unnecessary hardship. Just be the unique features of the property, drain field, septic tank. You know, ideally, you know, maybe we could have got a few feet farther back originally, but I guess at this point, I don't see that we're gaining anything by doing that. So I guess I would make a motion to grant the variance as requested. And
Do you want to put any conditions on it, such as
Yeah.
permit being applied for by a certain date?
I'm trying to find it. Do you have that?
Yes.
So if we grant the variance as requested and that the sanitary system then is serviced, that's overdue, and that the land use permit for this garage is to be obtained by April 1st of this year, 2020. That's the motion.
With those two conditions, I second the motion.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, carried. So we have that one. Everybody-
Thank you. You have a good night.
Thank you. Okay. We'll take the second variance then, variance 20-08, Markport. Do we have somebody there?
This is Mark Krause from Wagner Surveying. I can speak for him. I believe Carol Marquardt should be on the line, and I believe you heard from Mr. Altman, who is a prospective buyer. But I can lead out and kind of explain what happened.
Okay, hold
And we do apologize.
okay, hold on just a second, Mark. So can we get the other guy on the line? Jeff? Is he on?
Open?
Oh,
Yep. This is Jeff. I'm still here. Thanks.
And then is Carol?
Carolyn Marquardt?
We have her too? Carol?
I'm here.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we'll start this one, and then, Mark, you were gonna start with a summary?
Yes, I can kind of explain what happened. Carolyn had applied for the setback variance with the prospective buyers, and when things got delayed, the plan changed because the first buyer was lost, and now Mr. Altman is the second buyer. And their plans for their building site are a little bit different than what the original one was. So if you had the original one previously, when you originally went out and looked at it, things have changed. We're still requesting the 30-foot setback from the highway, but instead of having both the house and the garage up on the top at the 30-foot back, with Mr. Altman's proposal or request, we just have the garage up on the top, and then the house will be partway down the hill, and we would not need a variance for that portion of, for the house portion or the cabin portion. And as you all are aware, it's very, very steep out there. We're very limited on a flat area up there, and the garage needs to be on a flat area so you can get access to it. And so they're looking to have the garage positioned the way it's shown on the map, with the doors would be facing to the east, where they'd be able to pull in that way and park there. And then there should be enough room for the septic on the opposite side of the lot. And there's also a possibility to have the septic alongside the garage on the northwest corner if there was enough space after the septic test is done. But we haven't really looked that tight into it at this time until we get the first step approved, I guess. So, and if there's any questions on the design or the layouts, feel free to ask me. Carol could answer any of the issues she's been dealing with, and then the Altmans are the ones that have proposed that this would be an acceptable building for them, and have some details on the building itself if you have any questions. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Mark. Jeff, did you want to speak?
I think Mark laid it out pretty well. I don't really have too much to add to it. We're flexible, and if if there's size and position requests as far as making changes. We're open to things, but we're trying to affect as few of trees as possible and put the garage in a spot that is useful as far as the lay of the land on that lot. So yeah, I don't really have too much to add.
Okay, I got just a question. How tall is the garage gonna be?
We're looking at probably 12-foot sidewall.
And then no living quarters?
Correct.
And then, like a 6/12 pitch roof?
Yeah, yep. I'm thinking in the range of a 5/12 to 7/12. Anywhere in that kind of common range we're okay with.
Okay. And then the door, the overhead doors coming into it will be coming from the east, just like that you would back out onto the proposed driveway, obviously, I think, right?
Right, correct.
Okay. Do you have any questions for him, Kathy?
No, I think the new design is preferable by far.
Yep. Okay, Jeff, thank you. And then Carol,
Thank you.
you wanted to add?
I would like to add that we're still working on the driveway. If you look at the map, it shows proposed driveway
Yes.
in there, and then there's a proposed easement if we can't get the Department of Transportation to change their mind on that driveway. So there's either one. Anyway, there are other properties on Viola Lake, 5109 in particular, a garage that was built a couple years ago that's even closer to the road than the one that's proposed on this property. So I think that it's well within variances that are in the area already on Viola Lake. And the problem with, of course, with Viola Lake on the 70 side is we're up high off the lake and there is quite the hill going down. So it makes it difficult to have the 66-foot setback for everything on the property. At least the house is back there. It's just the garage that would be a variance.
Yes.
And as he said, this is the second option because the variance committee with all the COVID and everything stuff was postponed for so long, I lost the first buyer. So this is a second buyer, and his plan is better for the property than the prior plan. So I'm happier with it too.
Good. Okay, thank you,
Do you
Carol.
have any?
And then, do we have any comments from the towns or DOT or?
We have no correspondence from anyone on this one as well.
Okay. Kathy, any questions?
No.
Okay, so we will close this portion of the hearing, and we will go into deliberation and amongst ourselves here and make a decision.
I think we've already established the unique property limitations on Viola Lake and the highway.
The steep bank, yeah, the steep bank there, and the obvious, it's straight down. It really limits what you can do there. It is in character, like she said, with the other properties adjoining all along. There's the same distances is actually better than some of them. And I think the unnecessary, so unique property limitations, the steep bank, no harm to public interest. I think we're fine here. We're far enough back from the lake and everything else, so no problems there. And then unnecessary hardship, I think the challenging lot with a steep bank, and we consider it as necessary in our plan.
As long as they go with the garage doors facing the east side, so that the drive-in is not backing directly out onto the highway.
Yeah, and then we limit it to 12 feet high,
Yeah.
and then 6'12". No living quarters. I think we need all those. I would make a motion then to, grant the variance as requested. Also, we've got, we limit the sidewalls of the garage to 12 foot and a 612 roof pitch. No living quarters allowed in the garage. And that the garage doors only enter from the east side. I got a motion, do we have a second?
I second it.
A motion and a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, carried. You have your variance.
Thank you.
So you'll just contact, Jason's office, normal business hours, and he'll set you up. Okay, so the next, okay, we're done with that one. Next one we'll move on then is variance number 20-09, Prokop. Constructed detached garage setback 20 feet from a wetland instead of 40 feet. Do we have them online?
Yeah.
Do you hear?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, Mark Prokop.
Mark, okay, thank you, Mark. Do you want to give a summary of what you're doing there?
I believe, Mark with, Wigner's on the line.
Okay.
Yes, I am. And I guess I can start out, and the Procops can add what they kind of want to do, but basically, another challenging site. We moved it back, so make sure it was out of the 75-foot lake setback limits, but the wetland is all the way wrapped around the back side of the property, and so the best we could do to get the garage to fit in there as reasonable as possible was with a 20-foot setback, and with the garage doors basically facing to the west as they come in, where they could pull into the garage and back out. And then I guess that's basically it. And I know that the Procops are looking for a place for their garage out there, and they can add any other comments as far as the design and what they're looking to do there on that. And I'd be happy to answer any other questions that may come up. Thank you.
Yes, so yeah, we're currently without a garage, so overflow things like snowmobiles and boats and things like that are just out, and we'd like a place to be able to store those so they're not out in plain view. And then like a little overflow space also with approximately 500 square feet of a bunkhouse above the garage. So that's the reason for the variance. It just kind of to clean things up.
The bunkhouse above, okay.
Yeah, and it's a very unique piece of property, kind of with the water in front. We have the setback in the front, and because of where we want to put the garage, it makes the most sense without having to take down more trees than what would be necessary.
So what is the height of the building? So what the sidewalls of the garage, and then what would be the pitch of the roof then?
I'm working with Tice Construction. We're looking at possibly 10, 12, 11, 12 pitch, and then approximately 12 feet sidewalls.
Okay. And then what direction do the garage doors come into that?
Well, we are somewhat open to that. It's right now it's really hard to turn vehicles around because of the amount of trees that are on the property. It is difficult to pull in with a vehicle in a trailer. I would like to be able to. It's easy if I'm able to pull up and kind of go towards the lake and then back, into that garage area. But I'm open. It's a tough space with the trees, and so forth. And I just soon not have to remove trees.
Okay.
I've lost my share of trees during the past few storms.
Yeah. Okay, anybody else have anything else to add there? Mark or anybody?
I don't think so. Yeah, it's just a matter of whether they could pull in their garage that direction or, you know, they'd have to pull all the way around to get to the southeasterly side. So I'm not sure which is, there's a preference to county, and as the owner said, he has some flexibility there if possible, if needed, but I don't know which is the best direction there for all parties involved, you know, which one would be the best. I think pulling straight in would be the easiest, of course, so.
It's hard to know without, you know, seeing the tree placements on this map. I visited the site for snow quite a while ago, so I'm trying to recall. I know there were a lot of trees to back around, so that is a consideration too.
Yeah.
Of course.
If you look at the map, the gray shaded area is kind of the existing parking or turning areas and stuff, and so those are pretty much the areas that are more open. And then the part that's white or plain is the areas that are not, or could have existing trees and other things in them. So.
Okay. So any other questions, Kathy?
No.
Anything, comments from the towns or anybody?
No correspondence received on this one.
Okay, well, we'll close this portion of the hearing then, and we will deliberate amongst ourselves here.
Okay, one of my concerns is that shed,
Mm-hmm.
which is within the lake setback. Is that reasonable to say that that should be removed in order to provide this variance?
Mm-hmm. And read the So there are no violations. So the shed does meet the requirements because it's grandfathered in.
2002 to 2004, which was not allowed at that time.
That's safe, because I think, this is Jason, I think I have a violation listed in there too about the locks and chains.
Yeah, well, the septic tanks is the only violation.
Sure.
Now, in the staff comments, you've got overhead garage doors shall not face towards the shed. Be on the southwest side of the garage. That is the southwest side of the garage.
That would be fairly.
That's where I think you want the doors.
Yeah, isn't that what
I think that's what Mark was just.
Yeah, that's what he described, but I think that's,
where did I say that?
oh, entrance shall be, so I got it, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shall not face towards the shed, well, it faces towards, that's the side of the shed. Contradicts. It's throwing me off.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's a typo in there.
Yeah, okay. Then what's the setback for the septic tanks?
5 feet would be the required tank setback from the building.
They're pretty close, they might meet that. According to the drawing, it looks like it almost does.
It's close, I think that was the only reason I noted it in the staff
Okay.
report, just because it's close.
So, on the shed, if it's grandfathered in, are you okay with it or not, or?
I guess I have really not a strong opinion about that. It seems like since the place is already tight for turning around and things, maybe it would be better to have one less building.
How about relocate that shed?
If that's a possibility, that might be good too, because it's right to the water too.
So it's within the 75-foot setback. Would that shed meet a boathouse requirement now?
Nope. I mean, the boat, for a new boat,
Yeah.
well, it has to have, I didn't measure the doors and the window sizes and all those different requirements that boathouses have. And then it has to be in the viewing and access corridor, so we didn't evaluate where that exactly is on their lot either. At this point, we didn't.
Jason, what did you say was the typo that you said?
Yeah, where I said in my number 2 there, in my staff comments, doors shall not face towards the shed, it should be shall face towards the shed.
All right.
I think it makes sense to have the doors facing southwest.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't see a better place to relocate that shed to.
And I don't think there's anywhere that would even meet all the setbacks, probably.
No.
Because the wetland setbacks
So,
supposed to be 40, so, I mean, he could put it in front of the garage doors, I suppose, but that doesn't do a whole lot of good.
No, the septics are in the way, and
yeah,
they're gonna have to move that LP tank and stuff like that too. And you really are limited, they need room to pull in and turn around. This is a very unique lot. It's a peninsula, very long and narrow, you
Yeah.
don't have a lot of options here. And opening the garage doors and pulling in to turn around isn't practical either. I mean, you need to leave them some room here to turn around and park. So, the shed really does meet the requirement. I think I'm okay with that. If I can find a better place, I'd do that, but I don't. So as long as we meet the septic tank setbacks, I'm good with this one.
okay, I agree with that too. I think that as long as that's grandfathered in, then I don't have a problem with the shed.
Mm-hmm.
So should I make a motion?
Sure.
I make a motion that we approve this variance and that they follow the setback for the septic tank to be requirements, and that the overhead garage doors shall face logically toward the drive coming in on the southwest side of the garage, and the shed may remain where it is because it's grandfathered in.
And if we can add that we meet the tank setback, that we no higher than 12-foot high side walls on the garage and 11, 12 feet on the roof. Do we have that? That's our motion. You got a second? Oh, you made the motion. Got a second? I'll second it. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Carried. You have your variance.
Thank you very much for hearing my variance. Thank you. Have a good evening. Thanks, Mark.
Okay. Next one is Cashman, variance 20-10. Do we have them online?
Yes, we're here.
Okay, and who do we have there?
This is Genevieve and Phil Cashman.
Okay,
Yep, Phil.
okay. One of you want to give us a summary of what we're doing here? What you're asking?
Sure, we have some access as well. Go ahead, Mark.
This is Mark Krause, helping with Wagner Surveying. We did the survey for the lot. We proposed to do a certified survey map if everything gets approved. It's a very unique and tight site also. It's long and skinny, and we're trying to fit the house and garage in there the best we can. As you know, there's many tight buildings on the whole road out there, and the width of the road is very limited. And the road is not really centered exactly in the road right away out there. It's kind of been built wherever best their travel was for years. And they've got a lot of lakeshore in the front, and I don't think they need to use the whole corridor that they might be allowed to if this gets approved. I think they'll be minimizing that also. And it's just a very simple house and garage location there. And it does get tighter than the setbacks on required setbacks, but it's pretty consistent with the setbacks that are in the neighborhood out there if you've been out there to look at it. And then the Cashmans can add on what type of building they'd like to build, et cetera. Thank you.
Hi, this is Genevieve Cashman. We're planning just a walkout rambler, so single level living ideally. And we'll do a 612 pitch on the roof. We're looking at 9-foot sidewalls on the garage. And it is a very long, skinny lot. And as you know, looking at all the other properties on the east side, they're very close to the road. So we're trying to twist the house to fit appropriately the best we can in there.
It would be on the west.
Or,
It's the west side of the
I'm
road.
sorry, the west side.
Yeah, west side of Ham Lake Road.
Okay, any other comments?
Yeah, I guess it's, if you guys have, questions on anything, I mean, glad to try to answer if you see any,
Appreciate that.
any issues, problems.
So the slope of the lot, we got a neighbor that sent a comment, sure he couldn't be here tonight, but has concerns about the runoff from the lot coming down the road.
Yep.
So we need to keep the runoff onto the lot. Now that lower lot that you're combining the lots, the lower lot there, that's pretty low down in there, isn't it? Is that what?
No,
Planned out way down?
actually, the lot we're building would, propose to build on, the water actually runs down that lot. It doesn't run to the road there.
Yeah.
I do know the road is sloped partway to the east side.
Yeah.
But the actual water does not. It actually runs down through the woods on that lot.
Yeah.
It runs to the east off Ham Lake Road, not to the west.
That's what I remember seeing too when I was there, but it's been in the winter, so it's a little harder to tell. But
Yeah. Right.
so that's something we just need to maintain, that you keep your water runoff onto your property, that you run it on your property, not off the property.
Correct. And and that's another thing. We don't want the water going down that way either, because we have a lot down below a place that's actually flooded, due to the high water. So it's kind of we totally agree with that, keeping the water, from running down that direction.
And then they have some violations, the vehicles, trailers, campers being stored in the right of way and view of the lake in violation of section 45-387. Is that going to be corrected?
Yes. Yep.
And then you'll be getting a certified survey map. If you get approval to do the project, then you'll have the certified survey map combining the two parcels. Is that correct?
Correct.
And then the shoreline buffer kicks in. Do you understand how that works?
Yes, the 35 feet.
70-foot wide viewing area.
Yeah, and we would only, we probably wouldn't even use the full, just 35 feet. So I want to leave as many trees on that other lot as possible, so.
Okay. That's all the questions I have. Kathy, you have any questions?
No, I think you've covered that well.
Okay. Any other comments from town?
The only, no correspondence other than the one that you referenced from today.
Okay. Okay, anybody else have any comments? That's all I have. If not.
No, we're good.
No.
Okay, thank you. We'll close this portion of the public
Thank you.
meeting, and we'll deliberate amongst ourselves and come up with a decision. Okay. Well, I think, yeah, we've got, the size and shape of this lot is definitely unique, property limitations. I think that we have any public interest, harm to the public interest. All the adjoining properties are the same, you know, and they're combining the two lots to minimize that impact too for the square footage of the lot. And then unnecessary hardship, I think we meet that challenge, say, little areas meet setbacks. They are doing both the garage, so get it all in one thing. We'll be filling up this lot. We meet the setback from the lake. So the road setback is we're a little bit closer to the road, but like all the other homes are that way.
To answer the concern of the neighbors too, amount of trailers and equipment, what, do you have plans specifically of where those will go? Because they will fit in your garage, obviously.
Yes, we own another property with lots of land that we're moving those to.
Yeah, we have a pole barn there where that's where it's going.
Okay, thank you.
I want to correct one thing, they're not meeting the lake setback, because they're still
That's what I was trying to find here.
Yep.
Show 75 on the map here.
Yep.
And it's just in, yeah, so it's just a little bit closer to the water.
Yep. I think it looks like they kind of are trying to set it in between both,
Yep.
taking a little bit from the road, and a little bit from the lake.
So 21 feet from the road right away instead of 30 feet, and then 62 feet from the ordinary high water mark instead of 75. But that's like one half of the house is that close on the angle, and the rest meets the 75 feet. So it is a little bit, okay, good. I think that great efforts have been put into minimizing the impact on this lot. I think that they did a good job with this one. I guess I would make a motion to grant the variance as requested. And then with that, we'd want that the items to be stored in compliance with the 45-387 ordinance. That includes, you know, all the vehicles, trailers. That the certified survey map to be done to combine two parcels prior to construction, shoreline buffer, kick in, and it allows 70-foot wide viewing and access corridor with two parcels combined. And the proper permits to be obtained prior to construction, and then we just keep the water runoff on the property during and after construction. Got a motion, second?
I second it.
Motion and second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Carried. You have your variance.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Yeah, there's, you don't have any ones to review and sign, because you did that
Yeah.
before, so you
So we can close this,
adjourn the meeting.
adjourn the meeting.
I make a motion that the meeting be adjourned.
Second. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Carried. Okay, we're done. Shut us off.
Shut us off.